Welcome to Stache Club Wrestling, a big week, a huge week, a week of wars.
Yes.
They would say.
Yep.
My name is John.
My name is Dante.
Welcome to the show. We're recording this on a Wednesday, but we don't even got to preface that anymore because AEW was on Tuesday this week.
That's right. So we're not going to miss anything.
Not even have to miss anything.
They did it for us. They knew we were filming on Wednesday.
Today we are going over Fastlane, who came out as the predictions champion. We'll figure that out. Monday Night Raw. Kind of going to scrub through that. Heard it was a good show. But sounds like I didn't watch it. I had a weird week in wrestling. I'll explain why. Then we got the Tuesday night wars of NXT and AEW. We're going to kind of figure out who won that. To preface this, like I kind of said, I had a weird week of wrestling. Fastlane, I was at a show. I caught up the next day.
Yep.
Didn't quite fully immerse myself in everything, but I watched most of it. Raw I missed. I saw, which I definitely would have rather have saw Raw
instead of Saw.
Raw, which I saw.
Raw.
Saw was pretty raw on my eyeballs.
The Raw and Saw connection.
Right, sure. And then NXT and AEW I watched, but like it was a weird week for what's that, Saturday and Monday.
Yeah, I think I lied to you a little bit before, so I did end up
didn't watch a damn thing.
No, so no, I'm kidding. So on Saturday, I actually did watch the end of Fastlane. I said I caught up the next day. I did, but I also, so I was at a fair with Taylor, and by the time I got back, it was like the John Cena LA Knight tag team match. So I watched that, and then the Shinsuke Seth match live as it was happening.
Yeah, I think I also caught, because I wanted to at least see the main event. So I think I ran back the main event, or like I was on Twitter, so I saw like what happened. I think you were probably doing the same thing. I was definitely like, while I was out at the show, definitely like live reacting.
Yeah, definitely.
When I was at the show, because like the tag match was the first match, and fucking Cody and Jey Uso won.
Yeah,
I saw that on my phone. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was very surprised. And then also same night on Collision, FTR lost the tag team championship.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That we don't really talk about Collision too much, but that did also happen because apparently
maybe we'll throw that in.
Cash Wheeler's hurt.
That's what I'm hearing. He
got hurt at Wrestle Dream or
a lot of people immediately started speculating they're meeting Phil in WWE.
That was one of those people. Well, I was just like,
what
does that mean when he put out the tweet? When he put out the tweet saying top guys out. So I was like,
yeah, I guess, I freaked out with that too. I guess he just says that.
Listen, sometimes you go for clicks. Sometimes you get people. You want to get people riled up.
I guess the CM Punk news is kind of out the window. That's what I'm hearing. Unless it's another.
It's a he said. At this point, it's a he said, she said. He might be rumored. He might not.
This says from WOR, WWE turned CM Punk down. He wanted to go there, and the decision was a no. Can always change. It was brought up. There's no such thing as a no forever. Blah blah. Could be.
Could just be smoke.
I was say it's wrestling. Could be a red herring.
Exactly. Yeah. I could believe anything at this point that WWE turned him down. They don't want him. They do want him.
We just saw Adam Copeland debut in AEW. Anything's possible.
Anything could happen.
I'm not.
Yeah. I definitely don't think. It's a very common term, but it's very true. Never say never in wrestling. Obviously, when CM Punk left, he's been gone for 10 years. It's always been a big thing, but
that's crazy.
I feel like the door is even if it's ever so slightly, it is always open. So
if this is true, like that's even crazy just to read. Like WWE said no, they turned him down. That's crazy. I get why.
It's just kind of like, do they need him? Not
right.
Would it help?
Hot right now.
Like exactly, they don't need him, but like if they brought him in, would that do good business? Probably. It probably gets eyes on it. You'll get views, whatever. But at the same time, you have to think about, you're performing not only on screen, like you're killing it, product's hot, but also like backstage and stuff, like morale is high and all that shit. Like, I don't think CM Punk would pull what he did in AEW and WWE. Not that he'd even be able to, because if one minor thing happened, he's gone. I don't think WWE really needs to affect that by any means right now. So it's just kind of, you have to look at it.
And where would he even be? Like, obviously, he'd be in the main title picture. Maybe he'd do a match with Roman. Dude, like, he wouldn't beat Roman.
Let me tell you something.
But he'd probably he'd do this feud with Seth.
I think Seth would. Yeah. Because, and this is why I also think it's a very big possibility. They keep like Corey Graves.
Oh yeah, I think that. I don't think that.
But they keep saying things like they keep mentioning things that was like past CM Punk promos or things.
Yeah, I saw the
said,
thing that was
before.
like the ROH reference or something.
And then
I don't know. I think that's all a
Corey
coincidence.
Graves said something at the end of the Last Man Standing match. I forget exactly what it was, but he was like referencing something that Punk said in a promo in AEW or whatever it was. It's just like little things like that like are making me hold on to the belief that he could show
Shinsuke
up.
hit a GTS.
Shinsuke hit a GTS. That one put my mind in a frenzy. I was just like, what does this mean?
Yeah,
but yeah, this is a big like I'll believe it when I see it type of thing. So.
But also, to be honest with you, now that I'm seeing all the reports of like they turn him down, I'm almost back in the camp of damn, he's showing up at Survivor Series.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
They want people to believe that he's not going to show up.
Right.
You know?
If they want to keep a secret, it sounds like someone that wants to keep a secret what they would say. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. So yeah, it's just going to be watch Survivor Series and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, when's Survivor Series again? The end of
November. Yeah, I'm not sure the date exactly.
What's the next? I know we just finished
Saudi
Fastlane. What's the
Arabia.
next? It's a Saudi show?
Yeah.
When's that?
November 4th or 5th, I think.
Weird.
Beginning
Big
of
November, huh? Isn't there? I think Full Gear is in November too.
It is mid. So it's beginning is Saudi, mid is Full Gear, and at the end is Survivor Series.
So it looks like November 4th.
November 4th. Yeah, I think it's usually like a Saturday or something like that.
Wow, big November. Well,
it'll be during the day too.
Might as well jump right into Fastlane. We kind of alluded to it, talked about it earlier. The tag match: Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are your new undisputed tag team champions, defeating Judgment Day.
Yeah, color me shocked.
There was some more JD McDonough distrust with Damian, still building on that, blah, blah, blah. The biggest thing I saw reasoning-wise was gives Cody a reason to be on SmackDown. Roman Reigns on SmackDown Friday.
I guess so.
I don't know. I'm shocked. I did not expect that at all.
Too. I mean, listen, I'm all for like, cool moments like that. I think it was like cool seeing Cody and Jey win the belts, like an unexpected thing.
Yeah.
But then I look at it too, like the Judgment Day just won the belts a month ago. They're like an established group. I would have liked to see
I liked them with the tag belts.
I would have liked to see them hold on to it a little bit longer. I agree.
Especially since like Dom got the North American title back.
Yeah, that's the other thing that confused me.
It's like they keep on like getting so close to wanting to do like the we hold all the gold, and then like someone loses it, or they get they do it for a week.
Dom lost. It's like, okay, now every member doesn't have it anymore, and Rhea's like, oh, like you have to win the title back, or there's consequences.
Yeah.
So everyone has the titles back again. Now they lose the tag team championships, and that meant it's not the same attitude where it's like you got to win these, or like there's
Rhea's not.
You know
on
what
them.
I mean? She's not on them as much. Also, and we kind of talked about this last week, I'm not the biggest fan of Jey Uso getting thrown back into the tag team mix.
Yeah.
Only because the whole point of the whole Bloodline story, like the last like 6 to 8 months, 9 months, however long it's been, has been to separate himself from the Bloodline, from the Usos, and kind of separate him as like a single star. You sent
main event
Raw.
Jey is a singles.
Main event Jey is a
competitor.
single, not tag team Jey. It's main
Tag
event
team. That's
Jey.
what I call him. Tag team Jey.
It's just like I understand like the whole like get Cody on SmackDown kind of alludes to that, and it's something for them to do in the meantime because Cody needs something to do until WrestleMania.
It's been his story for months. Just all right, what are we gonna have Cody do?
Exactly, and Jey needs something to do before he ultimately fights Jimmy at WrestleMania. So it's like it gives them both something, but it's still just like weird to me that you did all this work to get Jey Uso out, and Jey Uso still is presented as a main eventer. Like him and Cody together is like not anything to not to
sneeze at.
Yeah, but yeah, sure, that's exactly what I was thinking of. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm thrilled about him being back in the tag team picture. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, the tag team titles for a while have just been like decoration. I think ever since unfortunately, ever since Kevin and Sammy won, 'cause they didn't have that great of a reign at all.
It took a while for it to pick up, honestly.
Yeah, and then they gave him to Judgment Day. And since the Judgment Day have had him, again, it's been kind of just that decoration, whatever. Now it's on Cody and Jey. And I don't see Cody and Jey diving headfirst into the tag division necessarily.
Exactly.
They had the match, which we'll talk about. They had the match with Kevin and Sammy on Raw for the titles. Jey and Cody retained them. I don't know. It just kind of seems like I don't know. I feel bad for the tag division, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
also heard that this is also opening the door for a title split as well, having
I could be down for
Raw
that.
and SmackDown tag belts, which I've been waiting for them to do for a while.
That doesn't excite me as much. Consider if you look at where the tag division is now on each show, I'd almost rather them keep them together and figure it out. Because right now, like let's say they split it, look at what you got.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's gonna end up being a lot of other like makeshift teams. Teams that you just kind of put together. But
you do have DIY back, which we forgot to mention last week.
We did
Johnny
forget
Gargano
to
made his
mention
return.
that last week.
DIY, bada bing, bada boom. I guess we'll kind of talk about that.
I mean,
later.
you have your handful of teams and stuff like that, and I think the tag division right now is works because it's on both brands. But again, if you're putting the belts on Cody, I feel like if you include Cody, like he has the power to be like, all right, I'm splitting these belts or I'm moving to SmackDown. No one's gonna bat an eye.
I really think it's just going to be a vehicle to get him in front of Roman again. I'd imagine, like,
because they keep bringing up the whole story thing again. Like,
they're like, everyone asks,
they're
is
like,
this part of the
like,
story?
how does this like play a part to the story? Did you finish the story?
He's
Was
always
the story
like,
winning the undisputed tag team championships?
I'm still sticking to the script. It's all a part of my plan.
Yeah. They're definitely gonna jump back into that sooner than later.
Yeah. I'd imagine when Roman's on SmackDown this Friday, I'd imagine there's going to be some Jey mention and some tag titles mention. And
also, this is also the other thing. So, and this was last week. So this wasn't, well, was it? Yeah, no, I guess this was last Friday because Fastlane was on Saturday. They make this whole thing about Jey Uso going to Raw, gets traded to Raw. Right?
Oh,
and
right,
I get it. The brand split's dead. That's over and done with. But he shows up on like he quit on SmackDown, and then he shows back up on SmackDown. Like, I don't know. I
think that
I'm looking into it too much, but it's just those little things. I'm just like, dude, that's just weird to me.
I think that again, I want to preface by saying I like Jimmy's direction too, but like that was like the last like cool bloodline story moment. I loved like that was like I'm out of WWE, and that was sick. And then that moment was cool, and then he just like was it the next week or no? I think it was 2 weeks.
It was like
or something
2 weeks
like that.
after,
Returns. I think ever since then it's been like I mean, obviously we know that they're taking like a cool down moment or whatever.
Right. I also don't like him and Jimmy came face to face on SmackDown. Like I would have liked if Jey Uso's kind of separated from the bloodline for like a few months until they do the whole Jimmy Jey thing. I don't know.
Build it back up. I don't know.
And that's why him being paired with Cody kind of like puts him back into the whole bloodline thing, which is like, I don't know.
And again, it's hard not to be overshadowed by Cody when like Cody is being presented as the next guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, especially when you're, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
They have the title defense on Monday against the Judgment Day, so we'll see if they drop the belts back to them.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah, it's like the season premiere of Raw or something like
Hell
that.
yeah.
They're hyping it up as.
LWO defeat Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits midway through the match. It is revealed that Carlito with a brand new theme song.
Highlight of the night.
Pretty bad. Actually, before we go to LWO, because we were just on Cody and Jey. Did you see the media scrum with Jey and Cody? What they were plastered.
Bro, they were blasted, dude. They were so fucked up.
Which I loved seeing that because it's cool to know obviously you maybe know you're winning the titles there, but cool to see like these guys had a big moment and they celebrated together backstage.
I think the best part too is that was the first match of the night. So they had to wait. They were lit for like 3 hours.
They were probably going crazy. I didn't even think of that.
That event started at 8 and they were Jey Uso wasn't making any sense. He was just run on.
I saw a video on Twitter. It was like a mashup clip of all the times like Jey Uso making Cody laugh, and Jey was just barking in the fucking mic. And that was crazy.
Triple H came on after and he goes, yeet.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Yeet.
What's crazy? Like I love the Usos. I don't know. Yeet is like 10 years old. Yeet is so old at this point.
Yeah, I agree. But it's
hilarious.
Yeah,
they definitely do.
It funny. They make it work.
I don't know what they'd replace it with, but just Yeet. And then Cody fucking said it on NXT the other night. He just goes, Yeet. Fucking what?
I hate it, but I love it.
But yeah, LWO.
LWO. Highlight of the night, I think, Carlito returning, to be honest with you. I think that was my highlight from Fastlane.
Tough Fastlane, huh?
No, I thought it was cool.
No,
I thought it was a cool return.
Carlito comes back again with the new theme song, which I don't know why maybe they didn't have the rights to it. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, he is in the best shape of his life. Like, he looks miles ahead of what he did, what was that, 10, 15 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, looks great.
It was funny. It was, I forget, I don't know the year. I think it was like 18 years. It was 18 years to the day that he debuted in WWE against John Cena. He took a picture with him backstage, and that was like
I saw that.
It was like 18, 19 years or whatever it was. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Gotta be in his 40s, right?
Yeah, has to be. I'm gonna say 43.
44. Ooh. Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I guess like two things with this. First of all, I love the return. I guess he's been on the books for months, and they just haven't brought him back. I hope it's better than a Shelton run. You know, I think Shelton had a good run when he was with the Hurt Business,
right?
But then after that, it was just kind of,
I think
lackluster.
You can put him with the LWO. You can kind of like build that group up, still kind of give him that shine. But I think he's also a guy that can be a solid mid-carder for you as well. I mean, he's another guy that you could put in the tag team division or have him go after the mid-card. I know Rey Mysterio has it right now, but like going after US titles or intercontinental titles in the future.
Yeah, I'm curious like what his standing is going to be, like how big of a staple he's going to be. I don't know.
Right, like how big, like how long his contract is, like a short-term, long-term thing.
This also kind of threw off because obviously if you got Carlito returning, you're not going to have the team lose.
Yeah, our predictions were a little all over the place.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lashley and the Profits took the loss. Whatever, what are you going to do? I get it for the moment. I would have liked to have seen
the Profits win that one, but if Carlito's returning,
it would have been just as stupid to have Carlito return and then lose and then just Io Sky retains against Asuka and Charlotte. This whole thing here was Io told Bayley to stay backstage. She ended up not. Bayley distracts the referee from Asuka tapping out to Charlotte's figure 8. Io hits a moonsault on Charlotte Flair to get the dub. Right person won. Let's fucking go, Io.
Right person won, but I have an issue.
Okay.
I don't like that they had Asuka tap out, even though it didn't end the match. It's just a little thing.
Yeah,
where it's
sure.
Like, I feel like it was unnecessary, or like the finish could have been there in the figure 8. Io hits the moonsault and just pins her without having Asuka tap out. I just think the whole visual of Asuka, this like dominant superstar tapping out, is just a little. It just didn't need to happen, even though it didn't end the match or anything. I just like saw that. I'm like, I don't think that needed to happen.
I think, unfortunately, people are saying like, oh, because Asuka tapped, that probably means she's out of the program,
and Charlotte's
gonna get the main spot. I'm hoping not. Like in my head, it would be Asuka's more pissed because she's like, or sorry. Oh no, I guess that's never mind.
I know what you're saying. I know what you originally were saying. Like Charlotte's like, I should have won because Asuka tapped out. I should
but then I don't know. I want Io and Asuka to run it back on a big stage.
I agree with you.
And now they're getting away from that. But I also want just like, again, I think they're waiting until like Dakota's back or whatever. But like, I want them to finally pull the trigger on Io Bayley, because that's going to be a match eventually. I can see
that being like a WrestleMania match, because I feel like that's a huge match that you need a WrestleMania to end it, because they've been around for a year and a half at this point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been built up for a while.
Unfortunately, I don't know if, with Charlotte lurking around, I don't know if Io's holding it.
You never say when Charlotte's lurking around.
So I don't know. That'll probably be, if I had to guess, that's the Survivor Series match, Io Charlotte.
Yeah, unless they do the whole brand versus brand thing, where it's like Io versus Rhea.
Yeah, did they do that last year? I feel like they haven't done that in a while.
I don't think they did it
I think ever since they switched to like, well, I guess they've only done it for 1 year, but like the War Games stuff, I think kind of takes precedent over
because I remember the US belt was a triple. It was like Seth Theory bought. I don't know why I remember this. Then the War Games was Roman, the Bloodline.
Right.
They were in that one. I don't know what the Intercontinental thing. Yeah, I don't know if they do champion versus champion.
I like the idea of champion versus champion, but like Survivor Series is a big four, and every time they do that, it's like, okay, well, that was a good show. I love seeing the dream match of this champion versus this champion, but then you watch it and it's like, oh, well, nothing happened.
It was
like
always, it was always interesting when they did it because they would always do like a surprise or shock like title change near it. So like for example,
and
like what, it was like
brands
Brock, it was supposed to
something.
be Brock versus Jinder Mahal one year. It was Universal versus WWE
Oh,
Championship.
yeah.
And then AJ won the WWE Championship like a week or two before. Then it was supposed to be AJ Brock again, and then Daniel Bryan won it literally like a few nights before. So then it was Bryan Lesnar, and then it was what was the other one? Oh, it was supposed to be Roman versus Randy in 2020, and then Drew won it back. So then it was Drew Roman again. So it's like it was always cool seeing those like shock title changes, but at the same time, it's like I always loved the traditional like 5-on-5 Survivor
Those
Series
are a blast. I like
love
keep
those
that.
matches.
Have like the title matches or whatever, just brand specific and storytelling. But,
Even like
I love the SmackDown versus
I didn't
Raw.
even mind if you had the champions in the tag team match because it's just
well,
like
yeah,
you get
you
more.
get
You know
your
what
top
I mean?
guys in there, yeah.
Because when they did it in like 2016, Kevin Owens was the Universal Champion and Dean was the WWE Champion, and they were both in the Survivor.
Yeah.
Actually, AJ was the WWE Champion, but the World Champions were in the match, even the mid-carders, all that stuff. I loved that.
Even more so to like a little more back in our day, like it was really like you'd see SmackDown Raw put their best 5 on the team. So it's gonna be like your John Cena versus your Undertaker, or whatever the fuck as the captains.
And even like when it was like a last man standing thing, like the last guy
the
standing for his
elimination?
team, like it would
Elimination was
always be
sick.
like a
Yeah.
cool thing for someone. Like if someone was the last
miss
person
that.
standing, it was a huge moment for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
they
wonder
do
if they're
the
gonna
War
do-
Games now, which is like I guess kind of is in place of it, but I feel like you can still do both.
Yeah, because I always liked. I mean, like what jumps out to me is when Nia broke Becky's nose when they did like the invasion. Like I love when they come out in like their SmackDown T-shirt and their Raw T-shirt.
Well, that's what upsets
me
me about the whole brand split being dead is because now that kind of defeats the purpose of all that. Like I feel like they could, because they did it a few years ago. You can do like a Raw SmackDown NXT thing. They did like 5-on-5 matches years ago. You could probably work with something like that this year.
That would be sick.
So you could have your main War Games match. That's fine, but you can still also have that one like elimination match. So
SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT would be.
you can
so
still
sick.
make that work, and then have your other title matches or whatever you want to throw in there. But
I don't know. I feel like this year it's definitely not happening. But
No, I
One
agree.
can dream.
One can dream.
LA Knight and Cena defeat Solo and Jimmy. Obviously, they're not gonna lose.
No.
LA Knight, standout performance. He was the one to get the hot tag from Cena.
Crowd went fucking crazy, bro. They love him.
He's hot.
Dude. They
He's
really
hot.
do.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's just about all I have to say about this match. It was what it was, but it was ultimately a vehicle to put LA Knight in this conversation with these three people, get him close to, the rumor is you're probably about to say it, Knight and Roman.
The rumor is Cena and Roman at Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
That's what the rumor is for that match.
I mean, I'm down
I
for that.
thought it was going to be AJ, but apparently they're going to have him out of the picture for a little bit. So what I imagine...
I like Cena Roman.
I like Cena Roman. I think it's predictable, but at the same time,
it's an LA Knight Roman.
It's a Saudi show.
Yeah,
anything's predictable at this point until we get to Mania, so it doesn't really matter. Cena Roman at Saudi, I think that's just a big match at a fantasy pay-per-view that you put together. Survivor Series, I could see that being like Roman AJ or something like that, because I think LA Knight's going to be in the War Games match. It seems like they're doing the whole Kevin, Sammy, Cody, Jey, LA Knight. 5.
I love the War Games teams are so sick.
And then it's gonna be like Jimmy, and like the Bloodline kind of,
and like a little bit of Judgment.
Not the
Day
Bloodline,
kinda,
Judgment.
right? Yeah,
that's what I
yeah,
meant to say.
yeah.
So it'll be like Finn, Damian, JD, Dom, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Or maybe Solo
and maybe
gets
thrown
thrown
Solo
in there, and then if that would be six, a lot of people.
I know, because that's what they were doing on SmackDown.
And then it looks
like they were building a 6.
But then it opens the door to like, they need one more member, the other team, and that's gonna be.
So what's the other side? Cody, Jey,
Kevin, Sammy, LA Knight.
LA Knight. Oh yeah, and then depending on where Cena
one
is,
more
Cena.
person. Oh yeah,
because Cena was in the ring.
That is true. I was gonna say one more person. They're in Chicago.
Punk.
People have been alluding to that. But anyways,
that'd be the stupidest use of Punk too. I mean, he just joins a babyface team. It'd be so funny.
I can see AJ Roman at Survivor Series. I don't know if they should do LA Knight Roman, and the reason why I say that is because I think it could work.
He's gonna lose.
He's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Does it halt his momentum? Maybe, but at the same time, you are giving him a major 4 pay-per-view match against the greatest of this generation of the last decade.
Yeah.
So how much does that actually?
Yeah, I don't think that would hurt him.
So I don't think it hurts him as much as I'm being dramatic about it. But you kind of have to look at it from that perspective, and also you put him at the Royal Rumble against Roman, you're kind of taking him out of being in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
So I think people would kind of hold on to the hope that he'll win that. So yeah, I think that's I think the next 3 opponents are Cena, Styles, Knight probably.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And
I think we'll see Knight sooner, to be honest with you.
You could switch. You could have it even be, maybe they do him at Saudi Arabia and hold off on Cena, or take LA Knight out of the War Games match.
I mean, I think we're going to see Cena and LA Knight somewhere too.
I hope so.
I really they've been kind of teasing that.
Because at this point, if Cena's back and he said after the scrum that the strike is over, he can't do both, so he's going to go back to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Before you go back, put someone over.
Yeah.
And it should be LA Knight. You know what I mean?
At this point, because I remember when he first signed, he signed for 8 weeks.
I think we're definitely
probably over
at least
half,
halfway
right?
through.
Yeah.
I think we're probably 5-6 weeks into it. But the thing is, I can maybe.
I don't know if he's making it to Survivor. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless maybe he, because I think it was an 8. It was mainly touted as I'm here for 8 weeks. I'm gonna be on SmackDown every week.
But then I saw the rumor that he was gonna be fighting at the Royal Rumble, which I guess is a one-off type of thing. So maybe that's a little different.
Yeah, I could see him.
I don't know.
I could see him play out the rest of the year. Maybe not be on SmackDown anymore, but gets his Survivor Series spot, maybe comes back around for the Rumble or something.
Right, yeah. I don't know, but before he does officially leave, I would like him to give LA Knight the run.
Yeah.
Give him that win.
He's got more, what's his Marvel show? Peacemaker?
Is
that what it is? Is that show still going on?
They're actually coming out with, they're not coming out with one, but I think they're going to start filming a new season or something like that. It's a great show.
Is it?
It's so funny.
Really?
John C. It's stupid funny.
I saw the trailer. This is a divergent, but when I saw the movie the other day, I saw a trailer for The Marvels or whatever.
Oh, that's with Brie Larson.
And I was just I'm so off the Marvel train. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
This phase of Marvel is going to be a make or break for them, because you have the new Captain America, Iron Man isn't around anymore.
Hopped off at. I mean, I was pretty off at Endgame, but I saw Endgame. But
that really was the last really good
even
Marvel
for years
movie.
Before that I stopped. I don't know. I'm
now
not big
it's
into it. Oh yeah, wait, Peacemaker's DC. What am I talking about?
It is DC. Yeah.
Damn, I got confused. I guess point still stands.
Marvel used to put out 3-4 solid movies a year, and now you're lucky if you get one good Marvel movie a year. Yeah. So
speaking of Marvel movies, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
He's going to be in the new Captain America one.
Kind of went on a limb on that one. I wasn't really positive about that reference.
What?
Seth being in Marvel. I was,
no, you're right. No, you nailed it, though.
I kept my fingers crossed.
Speaking of Marvel, Seth Rollins. Yeah, no, he will be in one of them.
Seth Rollins defeats Shinsuke Nakamura to help you retain your SCW Predictions Championship.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Seth Rollins does it again.
I know, literally copy and paste from
2 in a row.
Last time. Seth versus Shin, last man standing match. Couple highlights here. Shinsuke spits red mist in Seth Rollins' face, top of the ladder, sends him back first through the announce table. Match ends with Seth hitting a huge Falcon Arrow in the crowd off this elevated surface through some tables. I got some mixed thoughts. My thoughts definitely changed. Not changed, but I have even more thoughts now that Raw happened.
Yep.
Because things, make a little sense. I'm still definitely in the camp of I get why Seth Rollins won. I said it last week. It's the safe option. WWE is scared to do anything. I'm still pretty in that camp. I think with Shinsuke, I'll just give my quick flowers to Shinsuke.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, and I'm not trying to bury the guy here. Not that I have that power to do so. But he's feuding with Ricochet now. It seems like he's out of the title picture. This was the feud. I don't know. I hope we see Shinsuke in that light again. I don't know if we're gonna.
Yeah.
This would have been the time. He was hot. It's his best main roster run.
I think that was also his best main roster match, to be honest.
And everyone's saying that the two things I hear are, no, it needs to stay on Seth because it not establishes but the title, but makes the title feel prestigious, I guess. Whatever.
Sure.
Bullshit. Because Shinsuke is one of the best performers in the world. Also, Seth's had, a lot of people were saying like I think Seth's had. If Seth lost it, I don't think it would have been like, damn, that Seth run sucked. Like I think Seth's had a very, very solid first run. Yeah, he's just adding more and more to it. It's becoming better. But I think the discourse was like, if he lost it there, it would have been like, there goes the prestige of the title.
Right.
Which I think has taken away a lot of credit for what Seth Rollins has done for months.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And then, but I don't know. I mean, also like a lot of it is speaking from a Shinsuke fan now. I was just like, damn, I really would have. But not to kind of keep going on. I'm sure you have a lot to say, not to keep going on, but to tell you where my feelings changed. Looks like the next program is Drew and Seth.
Yes. Yep.
Makes sense.
That's gonna be a really good
print
match.
Money.
Yeah.
I get it. If that's the next feud you got in line, I get forfeiting. And I'm at peace with forfeiting the Shinsuke win. Because Drew is on fire with his character now. Yeah. Drew and Seth is going to be sick. So, hey, I'm a big enough man to say I'm at peace with it. I'm still in camp, like rooting for Shinsuke.
Right.
But looking forward to Seth and Drew. I'll tell you that much. And this match in general was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's hard to argue. I think if you were going to put the belt on Shinsuke, this would have been the right time to do it. I think this was the best match since he's been on the main roster, in my honest opinion.
That's fair.
He's been on fire the last few months. There were definitely some moments where it seemed like he was going to get the win, but Seth Rollins, I think, just like again, like they credit to WWE, credit to Shinsuke, they built him up to be such a credible opponent for Seth when like months ago he wasn't like as credible. You know what I mean?
It was probably, for sure, his best feud with this reign.
I 100% agree. I think they did a fantastic job of putting him at that level where you would actually think that Shinsuke was going to beat him, because I think it was just like the thing with Seth in this reign, and kind of agreeing what you were saying, where it's like he has had a great reign. I don't know what people are talking about. Most of his, if not all of his matches have been like, oh, he could lose. It's not been like a Roman thing where it's just like, oh, like he's going to win. Like he's not going to lose until Mania. Like Seth Rollins has been, doubted and like kind of like people didn't know if he was going to win or not, and he comes out on top. And I think
that only helps the matches.
It only
too,
helps the matches.
Sure.
It only helps his reign. His reign has been unbelievable.
It's been great.
Far.
Yeah.
It's been really, really good.
With Seth and Drew, though, I want Seth to come out.
Yeah,
Drew,
I think this is like another one where they'll do a good job of making it seem like Drew is going to be the one to take it off. I mean, the size difference, Drew's a big boy. But I think at this point, we're just like, they're loading up Seth's reign to really make, like, cement it as like one of the better reigns of this, like the last few years. And Seth winning the match, it's just safe. It's the safe decision. Keeping it.
And I'm not even
him.
saying it's a bad decision. Like I think both decisions were
both
good.
would have been fine. I just think it makes more sense in the long term and stuff. Because I think they have all these plans drawn out of who's gonna beat Seth, how they're gonna work in the brief. I know we talk about this all the time, but how they're gonna mix in the briefcase. Like if Shinsuke won it, how long would it have had actually had the belt? Would it have been like a quick like? Because if he won on Saturday, I would have been convinced that Damian was going to cash in that same night, which is like at that point, it's like Shin gets his title. Awesome. On paper, he'll be known as a world champion, but like
it's like the Rey Mysterio Cena thing.
Yeah. It's just like, that's not really worth it. All that for just to lose it in 5 minutes. So I do believe though, even though he's feuding with Ricochet, I do believe he will be kept in that, like, he'll be
considered a top dog.
He'll be one of the top heels. He'll be lurking around the main event scene. I think he's done enough the last few months to keep his position there, even if he's not competing for the world championship. I mean, I hope it does happen one day, because I mean, I'm with you. I think Shinsuke deserves it. He looked fucking great holding that belt up last week on Raw. It just wasn't the time.
Yeah,
so that's And once he sprayed the mist, and Seth fell back into the table. Once Seth got up from that, I was like,
he's winning.
I was like, yeah, he's winning at this point. Like, he's not losing if he didn't stay down after that.
What fair I was gonna say.
And it was a great, unbelievable match.
I thought
it was
match was great.
I do think the finish was a little bit kind of like, I think it could have hit that one last gear maybe. I think the finish could have been a little better.
Like maybe if you want Shin to get up from the
and then Seth did Seth's pissed, like, why didn't you stay and curb stomped him into the concrete or something? Then that could have been, I don't know. I feel like, because I thought Shinsuke was gonna get up, so maybe it adds to the whole shock thing, maybe. But I thought it was just a little premature ending. I feel like they could have done a few more things.
A last man standing match is hard to do like a fun, not hard to do a fun ending, but hard to do like a climactic ending. Because you have to just count to 10, and then it's like, if the guy just is laying there dead and you hit like 8, 9, 10, and then it's like, okay, word, he didn't get up. You know, it's not like a pin where you're like 1, 2, 3, holy shit, you know?
Right.
But overall, solid.
It was a really
concise paper. I think when I was watching it back, the time on Peacock, it was like not even 3 hours.
Yeah,
it was like only 2 hours 45 minutes.
5 matches, so.
Which, especially for a B pay-per-view, don't mind the conciseness. You know,
short and sweet. You tell the stories, you get the solid results, and then you move on to the next one.
So a kind of perfect segue bleeding into Raw. We were talking about Seth and Drew kind of being the next feud. But you mentioned Damian and the briefcase. They're bringing him back into the picture with the briefcase, especially on Raw.
Yes.
Seth and Drew are out. They set up their title match for Crown Jewel on November 4th. Again, don't really see, but what the fuck do we know? I don't see Drew winning it on Crown Jewel. Who knows? I'd imagine they'd have 2 or 3 matches. Then Damian comes out, attacks Seth, asks for the briefcase. Drew kind of thwarts that plan. But, like you said, Damian's back with the briefcase. He's lurking around.
Even at Fastlane.
Which finally.
Yeah, and I think now we're going to start to really pick up steam with the whole he's going to cash in at some point. I think so, too. Because even at Fastlane, after they lost, he was, I'm not leaving here without gold or whatever. And they were like, tonight's not the night, Damian.
I was going to say, didn't Rhea took it? Yeah.
So, you ready for this?
Uh-oh.
You ready for this? So, when the whole thing happened, they set up the match. Damian came down. Dominic had the briefcase. Drew threw it. Right? Threw it up the entrance ramp. I don't know if you noticed this. You probably didn't. A little Easter egg here. It could have just been WWE just fucked up. I don't know. So he threw the briefcase. It opened up. No contract.
Oh, really?
No contract in there.
Did it open up on accident?
So when it hit the ground, it immediately just opened up.
That sounds like an accident to me. Yeah, I don't think.
I'm just saying, nothing came out of it. No contract was in it. There's another briefcase hanging around.
Oh my God, there's no contract in it. There's no contract in it.
Listen, it could just be a little thing, but also WWE has been doing a good job recently of putting in these little Easter eggs here and there that lead to something. So I'm just saying, they do sometimes they do the
with CM Punk stuff.
No, but they do the little backstage stuff. If there's an interview going on, there's people even on Raw when I forget who was being interviewed, but in the background, Rhea was talking to Drew. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
I don't know who was talking or whatever it was. But sometimes they throw in these little things that kind of make you look into the future. But I'm just saying,
all right,
no contract.
Raw, I'm kind of going over the beats. Like we're skipping Kofi and Viking
that
Raiders.
match was. Did you see that match though?
I saw highlights of it. It was sick. Like
dude,
I saw Ivar go through the table. But
his moonsault, bro. For a big boy
bro,
like
Viking
him.
Raiders, the more I watch them, the more I'm sold on
Well, they're
them.
legit. They were called what was their indie name? War Machine, I think. Maybe. I think it was War Machine. I could be wrong. But they were sick before they got signed to WWE. They were sick in NXT. And then since they've been on the main roster, they've just kind of been like all over the place. But I think now...
Yeah, War Machine.
Oh, that was their NXT name. What was their indie name? Can you just go on their Wikipedia and see?
Killer Elite Squad? No, that's something else. I think it was War Machine. Was it not War Machine?
Oh, I guess so.
War Machine.
Oh,
defeated.
they were War Raiders in NXT, but they were War Machine.
Oh,
on
War
the Indies.
Raiders.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
okay.
funny.
Yeah, War Machine. Sick name. But no, they're both sick. They just don't get booked. Their storytelling is.
Well, I think they're definitely
getting better now.
better,
but like
especially
over the
with
last
story.
few years, it really hasn't been anything great.
I'm in the camp of like I want Drew to lead that squad.
I know. I mean,
you're
it
not
makes
too hot
sense.
on that, but it
does make
fun.
sense. I just don't know if I want him being delegated to doing that.
Yeah, I mean his character doesn't make sense with it now, considering he's very much has like a solo,
right,
sort of thing to him.
Maybe
now.
one day. Maybe if he wins a world championship, he's like, I need backup.
I need
or
a
something.
squad.
Gets them.
Nia and Raquel is basically just a vehicle for Rhea Ripley attacks Nia. Shayna runs in, takes down Rhea. So
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, just kind of getting everyone in the mix. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest with you.
I don't know if they announced it. I don't know if they're having like a number one contenders match on Raw against Cecilia faces Rhea.
I'd imagine she'd have a match at Crown Jewel.
Right. Rhea's facing Shayna on Raw, so never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe they do like a little like fatal four-way.
Not for the title or anything.
No, just a regular match. Yeah, I would imagine she has a match at Saudi, so we'll see.
We kind of talked about the Ricochet thing. Ricochet attacked Shinsuke earlier in the night. Shinsuke attacks Ricochet.
Hits him with a GTS.
He did hit him with a GTS. I don't know.
Apparently that was to Kenta. He said so. Then he quote tweeted it and he goes, "See you at Survivor Series, LOL."
Bro,
that's so.
Bro, I fuck with Kenta.
He was great. He was a.
Why are there rumors? Was that just like being silly?
I have no idea why people were. I didn't hear anything about it.
Kenta WWE confirmed.
I'll be honest with you, Shinsuke had a good GTS. Also, Ricochet sold the shit out of it.
Yeah, Ricochet sold like
died.
death. Few blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I have no idea what it was, but
Kenta
that's what people were saying. So
yeah, I don't know.
But what do people know?
What do people know? What do we got next?
What I do know is CM Punk's going to be there next week. No, I'm kidding. Season premiere.
Bronson Reed defeats Chad Gable and Ricochet in an Intercontinental number one contenders match. I like it too.
I like it.
I saw highlights of the match. Again, kind of goes back to wasn't really able to catch all of Raw, but people are saying this is crazy. I like that. I like Chad Gable and Ricochet being in the number one contenders match. It keeps Gable in there because they're not, they're not ready to revisit Gable and Gunther.
Not yet. They'll get there, but not happening.
But
yet.
I love Bronson Reed's the next one up. It's refreshing. It's a match that we haven't seen. We haven't seen Gunther go against like a big boy like this in a while.
There's gonna be some big meaty men.
I think this is gonna be fun. Is this for when is that for? Do you know? Is it next week?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Season premiere.
They're making a big deal of season premiere, huh?
I said on SmackDown too, right? I think.
Yeah, SmackDown was last. I think last week was the season
was
premiere.
It? Oh, okay.
I think so. I could be wrong. Blah blah DIY blah blah. Becky defeats Tegan Nox to retain the NXT title. Solid. I don't know. I don't have much to say about this. Again, I didn't watch. I didn't really catch Raw.
Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah. I didn't really like. Well, it didn't blow my.
I'm just curious what they're doing with Becky in the title. I guess when's Tiffany getting called up? When
maybe just like having her do other. She's defending it at Halloween Havoc against Valkyrie. something Valkyrie, I think her name is Valkyrie in NXT. I think Becky's just gonna have all these like matches against the younger superstars. Eventually, Valkyria, whatever, however you pronounce it. I think it's gonna be Becky's gonna have these matches against these young opponents. So then one day she's gonna fight someone. They're gonna beat her, and it's gonna be a big moment.
Yeah.
That's all I really see coming out of it. But
then at the end of the night, Cody and Jey retain against Kevin Owens and Sami
their finisher
Zayn.
Fucking kicks ass. Cody and Jey.
I didn't
it's
see
the
it.
3D.
Oh, they do a 3D.
Instead, it's a Cody cutter. Instead,
what?
Also Cody. It was a tough landing this past Raw.
That's what I heard. Oh, here we go. Oh, that was
Fastlane.
Either way, it's the same.
It is sick.
That is cool.
I think I don't know what they called it.
Oh, here we go. Here's the Raw one. Wow, yeah, Cody. Oh,
he just kind of folded a little bit, and he rolled out.
Gonk. Oh, fuck, Cody.
He immediately grabbed his neck and rolled out of the ring.
Damn.
I was just like, bro, please don't be hurt. This match was really good, too.
Yeah.
It was a really good match. I was surprised. I honestly thought Judgment Day was going to get involved.
Flapjack? Flapjack/cutter combo. 1D? I don't know. Sorry.
People say it should be called the Cody.
I like that. Cody.
It works. But yeah, I think the group is gonna. I like it. I like both of them together. They're both
ultimately, it's a fun tag team.
It's a fun tag team.
They're just buddies, and they're
they might lose the titles on Monday. That would be. Seeing what they did with Dominic losing it and winning it back, I can see the Judgment Day losing it, winning it back. But yeah, for what it is, it could be worse.
Yeah.
So I like it.
We're going over to the Tuesday Night Wars.
Yeah.
NXT versus AEW.
I will say I watched more NXT than AEW, so I'm a little bit more. I know what happened on NXT compared to I might not know every little detail about AEW.
I missed the first half hour of everything, but when I got home, I had I started with, or I have one on the TV, one on the laptop. And then whenever there was one that I wanted the priority, I put priority on the TV.
Sure.
So let's say it was
like a big match,
the Jay White match or whatever. Then I'd put that on the TV and have the promo segments or whatever the fuck on NXT on my laptop. So I was going back and forth, but it was. I hope this doesn't happen again soon because that was
it's
tough.
A lot.
Watching two screens and it's fun, but it's I'm keeping track of stuff and my brain is now intertwining storylines and I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure. There's two ways to go about this. We can either dissect stuff, or maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll just go. We'll go real confusing and just go back and forth because I want to really compare and contrast the whole hype of it are the war and who won.
Right. Both had first 30 minutes were.
That was
free.
The coolest shit.
Tony Khan was like, "We're gonna have longer runtime." Also, Tony Khan tweeting at
the bald assholes thing, bro. He's a menace. He's
out,
crazy.
Bro. Are you fucking kidding me? That's just I thought it was fake. I thought it was a meme account.
Sure.
At first, to be honest with you.
And just all week to both companies going at it, and that was fun. Yeah, there it is.
I'm very interested to see what the ratings are going to be like.
I think NXT is going to clear it.
Is definitely going to win it, but I'm curious to see what it was.
But it was fun all week seeing just okay, one day this would get announced, and then like you said, then Tony would announce something, and then all of a sudden Undertaker.
And then they were doing stuff Jade was tweeting out what does he want? And it was a call from Shawn Michaels or whatever the hell it was. And then she was on NXT. Just made an appearance backstage or whatever.
It was, and again,
it was packed. It was loaded.
And I want to say the obvious annoying thing of just I loved it both. I didn't take a side. I don't think we're really rooting for anyone specifically here. But I love the drama of it, and I like the war of it. But I don't not in the sense of this one's better than this one, or like fuck you if you watch this one.
I like it,
but like it's so fun, and competition just makes it better.
Because when they're on the same night like this, they want to one up each other. So they're gonna put out the best. They're gonna put their best foot forward and give you the best product they can. So
I will say, I think overall, not that we're delegating winners. With that said, I think NXT did have a better night. Mm-hmm. With that said, I think the main roster contributions were so overrated.
Well, let's do it let's just call a spade a spade. The reason why NXT was great this week was because of all the main roster people that were on it. If you took Cody, Cena,
credit where credit's due. Like the main event, they had good matches. The main event was good.
I'm saying like hyping up these like people. Yeah. If they weren't on the show, I don't think it wouldn't have gotten as many eyes as like a normal episode of NXT. Like, could they have still made it like an incredible show with what they have there?
I think NXT, absolutely.
I think NXT is the most consistent, best wrestling show weekly right now. I don't think that there is a wrestling show that is as consistent with putting out a solid show every single week than NXT right now. But having a John Cena, a Cody Rhodes, and Asuka, the fucking Undertaker.
So let's run through. So with that said, we'll go through NXT and all that bit by bit. But just to run down, because you have look at the main roster stars and why I think it was a little like over
LA Knight too.
Rated. LA Knight showed up. So you had Cody make the announcements, which they were expected announcements, but good announcements. It was the what was it? The men's breakout tournament and the return of the Dusty, or both of them returning, Dusty Classic. He's the GM for the night. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was fine.
That was solid. Asuka and Roxanne only went for 6 minutes. They didn't give them any time.
Could have been longer.
And then instead of giving them longer, they had John Cena and Braun Breaker do a weird segment that didn't really hit for me. Because they were, they're gonna be on the show. They're on the show all night. I don't think they needed this segment. Again, we'll dive deeper into it as we kind of get into it. And then what do we have? Oh, and then LA Knight was the special guest referee for what the fuck match was it?
The Ilya versus Dom
yeah. Which, like, why?
Again, because they announced at the beginning of the show, like, LA Knight's going to be on the show. Also, when he said it, I mean, biggest pop of the night.
I ultimately don't think, I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but I ultimately don't think him being the special guest referee added anything.
No, it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't, no, absolutely not.
I think them putting him there was like, okay, maybe we'll get a few extra viewers when this match. It'll get people to care about this match more. But
Jade was a nice social media clip.
Yep.
And then, they had multiple backstage segments with Cena and Carmelo and Paul Heyman and Braun, which, like, especially the Paul Heyman Braun was really, really good.
Also, did you see the Paul Heyman, him talking to the Rock's daughter backstage because she's in NXT?
No, I missed. That might have been when I had one of the screens muted.
So it was like they have like this thing, this like story going on where it's like NXT Anonymous, where it's like someone like is backstage like filming things in secret, like backstage things, and it was Paul Heyman sitting down talking to her. Her name's like Ava something in NXT. And he was like showing her phone. He flipped around. It said like Bloodline.
Oh, I saw. Okay, I saw something like that.
Like,
funny.
Like, and she was just like thinking about it kind of, then it ended, but they had that little,
I like that
tease in there.
And then so they had a bunch of stuff, and then Cena and Paul in the corners was fine. Like, it didn't do a lot.
When we actually get into the main event and talk about it, there's one thing I want to comment about it, but we'll
and I think the best of like main roster, like main guys, like Taker had the best. Like I like Taker.
Badass Taker, bro. I'm happy that they're done with the dead man thing. Like, when he does come back, it's just the American badass.
Yeah, it's American badass. It's Mark. It's
him. It's not the Undertaker. It's
so like, I mean, like,
him.
Ultimately all cool stuff. Like, I'm not going to complain about seeing all these stars on NXT, but like ultimately it did end up being way more name value than actual substance with the people they brought on. Yeah. So it's like,
I'm with you.
And I think it probably worked.
It definitely did work.
But so let's go. All right. So yeah, we covered Cody announcements, blah, blah, blah. He announced Ilya and Dom, which we got, well, maybe not we, I didn't say his name too much, but roasted in the comments about Ilya. Is it's Ilya or Ilya?
It's Ilya.
Ilya? Okay. Ilya.
Yes, Ilya. Yeah, listen, he spells it weird, okay? Don't get mad at me.
Ilya. It's Ilya?
Ilya.
Okay, Ilya. That's what. Okay, I thought you were saying Ilya.
There's no Ilya. In Ilya. Yeah.
So anyway,
we'll be better.
So anyway, I'll just.
Sorry.
Yeah, I almost said Alja again. Ilya.
Ajita.
Ilya and Dom. Later tonight, whatever. Yeah, then Asuka and Roxanne, weirdly short. I think these two had a lot of potential to go, but they jam-packed the show too much. Yeah. This got cut short, unfortunately. Fun match, Brawling Brutes and Tyler Bate defeated, how do you
Gallus.
Is that what it is? Gallus?
Well, maybe it's Gallus, I don't know.
Ends with a triple power bomb to Joe Coffey. These are all new names for me. Through a table. This is cool. I like Tyler Bate.
He's great.
I'm more familiar with not as familiar with his recent stuff, but I mean, people are saying just throw him in with the Brutes, call him up, throw him with the Brutes, have him with Sheamus. It makes sense. Blah blah. But this was fun. Big match. Cool. Oh yeah, I said we were gonna go back and forth with Dynamite, but we're on a roll here. Cena and Braun Breaker segment. Cena kind of just hyped up NXT. Breaker came out, went at Cena. Cena kind of went at him and was like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna, but you came out and you started talking shit."
This segment is they could have definitely extended the women's match.
Yeah,
they took this segment out. I think it would have been you could have done a backstage thing maybe where you're interviewing Cena and then Braun comes in kind of whatever, I'll see you later.
Or maybe have Cena introduce the match. Or something. Do a small thing.
Cena hypes up NXT, whatever. NXT's the future, and I'm gonna introduce to you the person that's I'm in the corner of tonight. But I get it. You have Cena there. You want to make the most of him
for sure.
I get it
for sure.
But I would have liked it if the woman got a longer match than this. So.
Braun went for a spear. Cena went for an AA. Neither of them hit. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll see you tonight.
I would love to see Braun versus Cena one day.
That'd be crazy.
When Braun's on the main roster. That'd be fucking sick.
Ilya Dragunov retains his NXT championship against Dominic Mysterio. LA Knight, special guest referee.
Yeah.
Insane outfit.
You didn't like it?
Oh my God. I hate that. I just don't I'm an LA Knight fan, but damn it, a stylist would help him out so much. Just the skinny jeans with the Timbs and the fucking studded vest. And I get everyone's it works with his character. It doesn't. I think he looks goofy. I think he looks like a kid playing dress up. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
I'm not trying to dog on it, but if he had imagine LA Knight with all of his everything, right? Mm-hmm. Put him in a sick outfit too. Money. Come on.
They're already printing money.
Come on, just get
even more.
Maybe keep the vest. Fine. Maybe put him in some looser jeans, ones that don't stack on top. Maybe go over the Timberlands.
They are tight jeans.
I don't know.
They are some tight jeans.
But being but granted, special guest referee in Timberlands is hilarious.
You don't see that often.
No. But anyway, Ilya did his thing. Ilya, whatever. Ilya did his thing. Huge favors for Dom too. I mean, Dom held his own, but also I feel like Dragunov
he's unbelievable.
Helped him. Oh, he's great. And then also
good.
Probably gave Dom one of his better matches.
Dom's just getting better every week when it comes
to wrestling. He really is.
He really is coming into his own. I'm very impressed with what Dom does every week.
I do think again, because I said this last week, but they did have he did start out with the Ray tag team stuff, whatever, but he really would have benefited from a year or two in NXT.
Him being in NXT right now is the best thing that they could have done for him.
Yeah, I think so too.
It really is.
This led to Baron Corbin arrived, challenged Ilya, but Dijak got to him first. Later on, Cody, as the special GM, sets up Corbin versus Dijak versus the winner of Braun and Carmelo. Number one contenders match.
I like it. It's different.
Yeah.
Different people began thrown in the mix.
I don't know
Corbin
who
said after when Ilya won the belt, I think it was last week, he's like, I'm the only one that had, besides Carmelo, that has beaten you this year, because Baron Corbin did beat him when he got brought back to NXT. So,
interesting.
Would you say you don't know who?
I don't know who's gonna win.
I thought you said something else.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm curious who's gonna win.
I would like.
I don't want Corbin. I want Dijak or
I think Dijak
or Carmelo.
would be cool, because that would be a hard hitting match. Dijak and Ilya.
Then I think Carmelo is just so close to the main roster where it's like
Carmelo. I think they need to have him focus on a different feud, get him away from the belt right now, because I just don't think he had his time.
Sure.
I really am bought into the whole him and Trick are going to have a story. Maybe that him winning, something will happen in that match. Maybe Trick gets involved, whatever, and that kind of adds to it. And
from what I've seen, I love Dragunov as champion. Like, I think he's going to hold it.
He's
going
to have a good reign. He's going to have a solid reign. I think I'm rooting for Dijak, because I want a solid, hard-hitting match.
Women's breakout tournament: Lola Vice versus Danny Palmer. Two names I am unfamiliar with, but these two put on a show.
They did
Holy shit! This was. I mean, like, you said it last week, maybe even the week before, where you were saying the NXT Women's division is just like miles ahead of anyone else,
dude.
And then, and obviously Asuka's not NXT, but like seeing Roxanne. Again, wish she had more time, but like I know how talented Roxanne is. But even like Lola Vice, Danny Palmer, two names that I'm very unfamiliar with, but impressed by both of these. I was pulling for Danny, to be honest with you, but
there's one
both sick.
Hold on a second. NXT Women's Breakout. There's one superstar in the Women's Breakout that I spelled women's wrong. Hold on. That's like unbelievable. She's like a former gymnastic, I think, or gymnast.
Is it the person I brought up where she does like the front flip into the cutter, or is that
Kalani? No. She's Kalani Jordan, I believe.
Kalani Jordan.
Yeah, she's fucking sick.
Kalani Jordan.
I forget what her background is. I think it was. Oh, here it is.
Real name Leah Mitchell.
Yes, I believe.
Former gymnast.
Yeah. Okay, that's who I'm thinking of then. Yeah, she's nasty. She's really, really good. Yeah, the other girl that you're thinking of I forget her name already. I forget her name, but like, too. She's hurt. When she comes back, she's gonna be thrown right back in the mix. But yeah, I was
very impressed. I was hyped for that match.
I love these tournaments, because you get
tournaments are fun
with these like not so big names. I'm excited for the men's one too, because I think that's the first time they're ever going to do a men's tournament like this.
Oh, okay.
They've only done the women's.
The names are announced, are they? Probably not.
I don't think so. No,
I think Cody just announced.
I don't think so.
Brian Pillman Jr. is finally seen. Cool segment.
I love the video package.
I love the video package. I don't love the direction. I know I'm in the minority about that.
I like it.
But like, I don't dislike it. I guess more so, I was just like, I just don't know if I love like him basically being like, fuck my deadbeat dad. I don't know.
So the only thing I think I would have changed, if it was like, I wish he kept his name. Lexus King, I think could work.
Yeah. I guess what I'm hearing is there's a lot of, there's like an homage to his sister, or
it's something family, whatever. I would have liked it if he was like, I want people to remember my family name, but not for my dad. So I would have liked it if he kept his name and was like, you're gonna remember my name. I fuck with
Brian Pillman Jr.
I like it too. But like, I do like the direction where it's like fuck my dad, like I'm the best wrestler in my family type of thing, and he goes by a different name. He looks sick. I like it. I'm sold on it.
But I just like I don't know. I'm with it. I think it's gonna be sick. His beard looked crazy. I don't know why.
He did have a weird line.
Even like the lineup with like the undercut or whatever you want to call that. I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting. I'm not trying to nitpick here. But I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm being too whatever about it.
Happens, but I like the video package.
I just think they could have done a little less about his dad and a little less about like I don't know, basically him just being fuck my dad, because it's like there's no story. Like, it does establish the story, but it didn't like. It's like, this is the first time we're seeing him, and most people didn't know who he was, or didn't know. Probably most people didn't even know that Brian Pillman Jr. was wrestling. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're just like kind of a casual WWE or NXT fan. Which I guess it is more interesting if all of a sudden the first time you see him and he's like, "Fuck my dad."
That's what I'm.
But like,
I think it's the shock factor. It's like, oh, we know Brian Pillman. Like people like us. Like we're like, oh, he's signed with WWE. We knew the video packages were about him, and it's like, oh, like it's gonna be the characters are gonna be this. Like we're thinking it's gonna be this, and then all of a sudden it's like, fuck my dad. My dad's a piece of shit. Whatever. It's like, oh, okay.
Which I don't know. I think I just always thought it was cooler and preferred in like AEW when he had like a closer connection with his dad.
No,
you know?
I do agree with that. But
I do appreciate and get the story of like I want to be known for, you know, blah blah blah.
We'll see what happens. But I fucked with it. I think it's gonna be. I think he's gonna do pretty solid in NXT.
How did his dad die? Was it an overdose?
Something
I
happened.
not just watched, but I watched the Dark Side of the Ring thing like a while ago. Crazy episode. We talked about this like last week.
Yeah.
And Brian Pillman died. Oh, that's a big word.
Heart disease. Undetected heart disease.
Oh.
I don't know.
Maybe, but it has to. I'd imagine struggle related.
It could have been a mix because of stuff he's taken.
died of a heart attack or died of a heart disease condition that killed Brian's father when he was 3. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and a lot of it. Which again, maybe this was the part I didn't love either, where he was like, my dad died when I was 4. I didn't even know him. Who gives a shit? It's like, bro, I don't know. I didn't love it. I'll be honest. I don't know.
I'm sold. I'm excited to see what they do.
It's gonna be like in terms of like I have high hopes for him. I think he's gonna do great, but something about it, I was just like,
I think that all
right,
they'll
you say so.
They'll feed into the story a little bit more. I think they'll be able to tell it a little better when he's on TV and stuff.
Remember, I think didn't Christian when Christian was feuding with them or had a little thing with him on AEW, he's basically like, I think he said like your dad's not up there, your dad's down there or something. I don't know. I mean, Christian always says like if you have a dead relative, Christian's always saying something about it. Best heel in
wrestling.
What did Christian say about? I'm curious now. Christian, Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman would be appalled. Oh, yeah. Brian Pillman would be appalled to know that his last contribution to wrestling was his son. But he also said something about, I guess he said a lot of stuff about his dad being dead. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're getting
he probably did say
getting away
all
from
the
plot
things
here.
that you mentioned.
Anywho, Carmelo Hayes defeats Braun Breaker. He's going to be in that triple threat, as we were kind of talking about earlier. Outside, Cena does interfere. He kicks Braun outside. Solo runs in. Cena and Solo duke their way out. Blah blah blah.
So
Braun attacks. Sorry, I'll just say.
No, go ahead.
Braun attacks Melo. Okay. So that was the end of the match. And then after Braun attacks Melo after the win, leads into. We'll get into that. So yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
So my one critique of this match was, so all this is happening. Carmelo's outside. Braun has the stairs, and then Cena kicks Braun, which would have been a disqualification. The ref was
looking.
There. They were like, the ref didn't see it. And they kept showing the replay. And the ref was like, so he was like looking. And then when he went to kick him, he goes like, oh, like looked away, like to act like he wasn't seeing it. But like, it didn't make sense. I was like, John Cena didn't have to kick him. I was like, I think Cena like.
I was really surprised.
I think he was trying to buy time or something because Solo wasn't there. I was like, he could have just easily taken the steps and hit Solo with it, but I think he was just waiting. So he kicked Braun and then Solo came out.
Oh, here we go. Here's the video of it. Yep, picking up the stairs. Oops.
That's so funny. Look, just watch the ref.
He just yanks away the steps.
Oh,
he like kicks him in the knee.
They didn't cut it out.
Didn't. But I believe you.
They cut it out. They didn't want people to see it.
I'm surprised
there was just no need
because it's not, and that's also. I mean, Cena's like an ultimate babyface. I'm surprised he got physical with Braun.
That's what I'm saying.
And like did anything with the match.
That part was unnecessary. That was the only part of the match that I'm being nitpicky about.
Sure,
but
other than that,
it was a great
fun match.
Yeah,
I don't know if it lived up. I mean, I think I haven't seen all 3 of their matches.
No,
but I've
definitely
seen
wasn't
one
better
of them.
than the first 2. That's for damn sure. But for what it was really good.
And then Braun attacks Melo afterward, and he gets on the mic and he says, "I'm the only badass around here," which was like just the ultimate, just like
he had badass written on his singlet.
It just the ultimate like wink, like I'm the badass, like, and then fucking Limp Bizkit plays, American Badass comes out. Comes out on the chopper. Let's fucking go. Comes out. Braun's going at him, saying, again, kind of reiterating, I'm the only badass, and calls him an old man, this, that, and the other. Choke slams Braun, solid choke slam.
Sold the shit out of that Braun breaker.
Gets on a mic and he's like, you're going to be a big star one day, or whatever he says, but not today.
There's always that one old, bigger badass around the corner, and I'm the baddest one or whatever.
I think, something like, and you just met the baddest or some shit. And then raises Carmelo Hayes' hand, gets a little cosign there. Bada bing, bada
Carmelo
boom.
fucking Hayes had a big night, man. He got
John
the
Cena and
cosign
Taker.
from Cena and Taker at the end when they threw their fists up on the stage. You see that at the end? So
Cena and Carmelo did?
No, Undertaker and Carmelo. So
I didn't see it on the stage. I saw them in the ring.
It was post show, but it was on Twitter after. It was so they're walking up the entrance ramp. They do the Undertaker, they do the class.
Oh, they did the thing? That's cool.
Together,
oh,
yeah.
wow.
Bro,
find that.
Carmelo Hayes, they don't do this. They don't just do something like that. They're only doing this because they know this guy is going to be a fucking the guy the next 10, 15 years. He's got such a bright future. I love Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. It's cool. Shaking hands, blah, blah.
And you can see crazy. Carmelo's trying to follow along.
Yeah. Look back. Nice. Oh, that's fucking sick. Yeah. Come on, do it. Boom. Fire. Yeah, that's really sick. That's really cool. He's high. See how hyped he was after?
Dude. He tweeted out, too. He was like, that was the best night of my career by far.
I believe it. And that's our guy, Massachusetts' own.
There he is,
That's our guy.
Where is he from? Framingham. Yep.
Where do you go to school?
That's a good question.
Framingham State. Georgia Tech. Did as well, studying Georgia Tech. Interesting.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Him and Braun Breaker are the future.
Oh,
but Carmelo Hayes getting that rub from both of the greatest of all time. So, two guys arguably on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. 29 years old, just turned 29.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude's got a very bright future ahead of him.
With that said, we do got some Title Tuesday.
Yes, we do.
In competition with NXT Title Tuesday. Solid show again. It's really, this goes to say with both shows again, flipping back and forth. It's so fucking hard to pay attention to one thing. Going on. So I missed a lot on both shows.
Kind of sucks because now there's no wrestling on tonight. I mean, it's good to have a night off, I guess, but now it kind of stinks.
Yeah, I might watch a movie or something. I don't know.
It's not a bad idea.
Swerve and Danielson. This is what, again, I was late coming home. I didn't get to see Swerve and Danielson. Apparently, this went crazy.
Really? I didn't see this. I didn't watch this match.
I'm really disappointed I didn't see this, but it was for the number one contender spot for the TNT Championship. Yep. Danielson won. Wolfface, it kind of bleeds into later on in the night, but Danielson versus Christian. I love that Swerve is always still in this. I love where Swerve is now. He's Swerve is like a solidified top guy in AEW now, which I really love. Hobbs, again, that kind of did the same thing with Raw and NXT, where it just kind of breezed over some stuff, but Powerhouse Hobbs basically squashes Jericho. Don Callis in his corner.
Hobbs is a part of the family now, it seems like.
So Hobbs part of the family.
So you got Takeshita, Sammy, Hobbs, and Will Ospreay's kind of there too.
Ospreay.
So even though he's not an AEW superstar,
I'm liking the form of it.
They put together a solid group. Takeshita, obviously the leader. Sammy, the young, athletic, accomplished wrestler. Hobbs, the powerhouse, and then Will Ospreay, the one of the best wrestlers in the world.
And also cool for Jericho to just take the job.
Sure. Yeah. Was it actually like a squash match?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Orange Cassidy takes the place of John Moxley because apparently he wasn't medically cleared.
Yeah.
So we had Orange Cassidy versus Rey Fenix for the International Championship. They just fucking hit the reset button here. So Orange Cassidy wins. I'm fine. I'm fine with it in the sense of I like Rey. As much as I like Rey as a single star,
he was never supposed to be the international champion.
He was never supposed to be.
He was never supposed to.
And the Lucha Brothers are active, so I'd rather see him with the Lucha as the Lucha Brothers. And as much as, this is coming from, I would love a Penta solo run. I even I've enjoyed. It's been a very short run, but I liked Ray solo too. But yeah, I don't blame them for hitting the reset button because they probably like, oh, this throws everything out the window because Mox is probably going to win it back.
So this is what I think they should have done. Okay, so Orange Cassidy win the belt back, fine. And also, it's like one of those shows again where it's like competition, so you want to have those shock moments. So you want to like kind of like make the show feel a little bit more elevated. You do stuff like this, and something else happened that we'll get into as well. What I think they should have done, since Mox wasn't cleared, and I do believe Mox, when he will get the belt back because I think he's going to go on the run that he was supposed to have. They should have either had like a no contest disqualification or like the time limit draw. Set up a triple threat match for whenever Mox does get cleared, and then Mox can get it back that way. That's how I think they should have done it. I mean, again,
because I'm also a big Ray Phoenix fan, so I did kind of say it, but like as I was saying, like I would have loved to see Ray keep it. Right. You know, I fuck with Ray.
And like Orange Cassidy, like I don't know if I like him winning it back if Moxie's gonna win it again. Because now it's like you could play a story where it's like the one guy that Cassidy can't beat is Moxley. Yeah. You can kind of play off of that. But it's like if you're going to give the belt back to Cassidy just for him to lose it again.
I'm with you. I don't want to see him drop it immediately.
That's kind of like...
Especially when he had such a dominant run with it and a great run.
Well, you brought him back up a little bit to get the belt, then you're just going to fucking bring him right back down. So that's my only complaint, but...
Another big boy squash. Wardlow squashes Matt Sydal.
Evan Bourne.
Little, which I didn't pick up on this little thing here. MJF was written on Wardlow's tape.
Oh, was it really?
Apparently.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It could be going back to that.
Well, I hope AEW is doing something good with Wardlow here because he's been very misused the last few months.
Jay White defeats Hangman Adam Page. And again, I mean, fun match, solid match. Both these guys, great. Did kind of lend, Jay White wins with the help of Prince Nana, blasting Page with the crown. Kind of keeping Swerve in the Mogul Embassy in that feud with Hangman.
I love that they had the belt. He has the belt, and
he's it's coming sick. Down I always like he's stole it, not giving back. I always like that sort of. I don't know if you want to call it trope, but MJF comes out demanding for the belt back. Give me it back. Jay White says, you can't just ask for it back. Juice Robinson announces he'll be in the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, which until they showed the banners and the little promo, forgot that MJF's won it all 4 years.
Is that the ring? The Diamond
ring? The ring, yes. Thing for the ring.
However many times they've done it, he's the only one.
Yeah, I didn't know it was 4, but that's what the banner showed. Is
this the 4th one, or they've done 4?
I think they've done 4. I'll double check, but...
Yeah, I
didn't think it was 4.
I just know MJF has won it every single time.
Was it Dynamite?
It doesn't even it's not even like a championship. It's not like he defends it. He just wears the ring all the time and uses it as a weapon, which is, it's perfect for him because he uses it as
it's like no one else should. Yeah. Yes, he literally lose banners, which I didn't think. Shit. That's what I'm saying. I didn't think it was 4.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was 3, 2 or 3.
Oh, the winner faces MJF for the Dynamite Diamond ring. So they're gonna keep the ring on MJF for sure. That's funny.
Sure. Okay. Interesting.
But I like the Battle Royal.
Well, I guess that makes sense why he's not in it because if he's the champ and
right, he's got the ring.
Interesting. So they are gonna defend. Yeah. All right. Whatever. That's just all right. That's just another thing AEW has in there, like another championship, just another ring.
Yeah. It is funny. I feel like MJF won it and it became such an MJF character thing where they're like
it's like a part of his character.
Yeah, 100%, 1,000%. It's like, well, we just gotta keep it with him.
If you win it, you're just gonna use it as a weapon for a year. Like that's what basically it comes with.
Shida defeats Saraya to become the new and first ever 3-time women's AEW champion. Let's fucking go, Hikaru Shida.
I say it. I've said it before. I'm not the biggest Saraya fan. I'm just not a huge fan of hers.
I honestly thought her reign has been fine.
I can't believe that they took it off for that quick. Well, she really hasn't done much, to be honest with you. She had the match against Toni Storm.
Yeah,
she's had that feud, I guess, but besides that.
Yeah, I mean,
when was Wembley?
I guess more so of like the potential of it, huh? When
Wembley was
A
end of
while
August,
ago.
right? So like a month and a half.
I guess I liked the win at Wembley. I don't know. I guess I saw potential in it. I guess is more what I'm saying.
That her losing the belt last night proved to me that she won the belt at Wembley because of the pop. I mean, that's why. That's
kind of the discourse here is they, say what you will, but I think she's a legend in the sport.
She is. I don't want to disrespect her. I'm not trying to say. I'm just not sold on her. I've never been like the biggest fan, but like I respect like she doesn't impact the business. Like her winning the belt was massive. Like Sheeta beating her is a big moment and stuff. Also, AEW, she is fantastic. They love Sheeta, 3-time women's champion. She's as reliable as it comes. Like you need a solid champ. She's the one to do it. Kind of to bounce off what you were saying, the discourse here is kind of, which I think I ultimately do agree with. Again, I do like Saraya, and I do think she could have a fine run. I think she looks cool with the title, but especially in this match, it's clear that her style of wrestling doesn't lend very well to AEW. No.
The women's division AEW is just much faster. It's really, faster and just, I guess maybe more hard hitting.
Curve or something like that.
Sure, maybe. And not to say that it's past her time. I'm not going to say that, but I think it's just like there's definitely a difference from when. You have to think. She started fucking 10, 12 years ago, longer
maybe
than that.
Earlier than that.
So the style of wrestling that she has just isn't this new style of wrestling that's in the AEW women's division. So again, the discourse here is kind of like, it seems like AEW might have seen that. Honestly, another sort of reset button where let's put it back on Sheeta and let's kind of figure out Saraya.
Like the character works and stuff, but I don't know if it's necessarily like...
I have a glass half full with Saraya. I think she can improve, and I think she can get up to that level. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like AEW is super confident in her.
Right.
So, hit the reset and figure it out.
I always thought she was like more better off in like WWE. Like that's like more her style, like the sports entertainment.
For sure.
And I get it. AEW, she's there because she couldn't wrestle in WWE. They wouldn't clear her, this and that, whatever politics. But yeah, I just haven't, since she's come to AEW, it just hasn't been there for me. And again, just like her winning the belt was just more so of her winning it because they were in her home country than it was her winning it because she's the best wrestler on the roster.
Sure. Yeah, I think it was definitely a credit where credit is due. Like she deserves it. Let's give her this.
It was a great moment. It was a great moment.
But I don't know. Again, I'm hoping for the best.
She is amazing. I'm happy she's just the champ again.
Oh, but yeah,
I'm very happy she's the champ.
Not to bury the lead, but let's fucking go, Sheeta, bro. Yeah. Excited for that. Excited to what's to come. I hope she has a long reign. I want to see Sheeta and Tony go at it again. I'm not sure.
I just need, because they've been doing a lot of hot potato with this belt the last few months.
Everyone thought it was going to be Tony to take it off of Saraya, but it seems like they kind of like
right now too.
Oh my god, Tony is so fucking good.
Has been
I love
one of the best.
It's probably my favorite character, maybe next to Christian. It's probably one of my favorite characters in wrestling.
She's fucking killing it right now. Absolutely.
So good. Adam Copeland defeats Luchasaurus in a fine outing. It was what it was.
I didn't watch this, to be honest with you.
It wasn't like a banger of a match, but it did the job.
Mm-hmm.
Before the match, Christian got on the mic, dissed Judgment Day.
What did he say?
He said a little bit of like, it was more towards Edge, but he was like, what was it? I didn't trick, or I didn't, what was it? I'll just look it up. It was on. I had it earlier. AEW Dynamite results.
I know what he said.
It was basically
like Beth Phoenix or whatever after.
Yeah, he mentioned his kids, mentioned Beth, blah blah blah. I'll just get the exact quote so I don't butcher it. He said, "Oh, this isn't the whole quote," but he basically was saying like, "Oh, like you tricked them into following you." I don't know, something about dissing Edge's leadership. Sure. But anyway, he said, in terms of Cage's Christian Cage's group. He said, "I'm not their leader. I'm their father." That is the difference. Let me see if I can just find. I'd rather just find them. Christian Cage Judgment Day. Oops, spelled that wrong. How come there's no? How come Twitter doesn't help me out with the misspellings here? There we go. Okay, I should have done this from the beginning.
Now, it was apparent last week that I left a lot of people's jaws on the floor with the 3 words that I said to the Raiders. Interesting that he said that Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne were going to turn on me when they got all the information that they needed based on his experience in the past. Well, the difference is, Adam, I didn't take some ragtag group, dress them up like it's Halloween, and convince them they're tough guys. You tried to be their leader. I am not their leader. I am their father.
Dude, he's awesome.
I am not their leader. I am their father.
Oh, that is awesome. That's like some like Star Wars like Darth Vader shit going on right there. Some evil empire.
But yeah, I like the little Judgment Day disc. That was fun.
Just a little something.
Then he brings up his wife and kids. Says to like, what do you say?
Put some clean sheets.
I'm coming home or whatever the fuck. Edge charges down to the ring, and the match. Blah blah. Solid debut for Edge. Again, it was just we saw some spears. It was solid, funny. It basically because they went, which I think it was a really smart move on AEW's part. Both shows went like 10 minutes over. Yeah. AEW, I think, went another 5 over. Really? So they could at least get like, okay, so AEW's still on. Let's see the end. Basically, like moments after The Undertaker hits a choke slam and the show goes off the air, you flip to AEW Dynamite. Luchasaurus hits a choke slam.
I saw your tweet. I wonder if they were like, Undertaker just hits a choke slam.
You do it now. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. Like I said, it was fine. Bryan Danielson and the BCC come down to even the numbers as Christian and everyone tries to start to attack. Leads into Bryan Danielson has Christian, the fucking whatever the hold's called.
Because Danielson won earlier. So
leading into that match next week.
That'll be
worth, actually, well, it is on Collision.
Fuck.
So it'd be worth running back. I'm
not watching. I'm not going to.
It'd be worth.
I am.
Yeah.
Someone just broke into your apartment.
Oh, hey, so Sophie. Perfect timing. Hey. Just about over.
Yeah. Just finishing up.
With that said, so I guess we talked about it the other day. The title of this episode is going to be Who Won or whatever the fuck.
Right.
I think ultimately and I don't blame them, through some cheap tactics, I think NXT took it. I mean, they're gonna kill him in the ratings.
Tactics are tactics. When
the opportunity they never said
there, if the other company's owner calls you a bald asshole, you got to bring out the big guns like the Undertaker. So I joked about this on Twitter. It's not going to happen. I was like, we got to see Undertaker Braun Breaker. That's the reason why they did this. And I want to clarify. I was definitely kidding, because if you watched him like get off the motorcycle, walk to the ring, the dude can barely walk. The dude is limping. Yeah, like there's no tomorrow.
Even when he threw his hands up,
he's like, "Oh, my arthritis is killing me." Yeah, it would have been. The idea is cool because it's like.
Speaking of, see that?
I did notice that. I love.
It's kind of on purpose, but
like Saudi Arabia's crown jewels coming up, so it's like,
we don't need
whatever.
I know
we don't have to, but I will say, like, if that does happen, it would be different, because when it's not like the Undertaker, it's not like the dead man thing. Sure. And two, like, I think working with a really young talent that could, like, it would not be like a 15-20 minute match by any means, but I feel like they would be able to
let the guy rest. I think
the guy should be a dead man. You know what I mean? Let the dead man rest.
Recovered that one. Sure,
Mark Calloway is still around. So, but yeah, no, I don't think nothing's going to lead from it.
Yeah, but ultimately fun. I don't want this to happen again, because I don't want to do two screens again. It made my brain hurt.
I agree. Well, they did it for a while when it was on Wednesday night. NXT was on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're even talking, obviously it's way before our time, but this is, people doing the Monday Night Wars. We're doing this every Monday, flipping between WCW and,
God bless them.
But that's our show. Well, if you're still here, damn, forgot to mention. Well, we talked about it in episodes. Sweep City merch, still pushing it. We got some hats and t-shirts left. We're trying to get rid of the last batch. We got like a handful of stuff left. We're just trying to get rid of the last stuff.
Get it. It's yours.
Shop.clutchpoints.com. We're also, at this moment, a little over, we're at about 503 subscribers away from 100,000.
Come on, guys. I know you guys know 503 people that aren't subscribed.
Come on. It's nothing at this point. I think we'll end up hitting it. I think it'll be mid. I mean, well, honestly, I'd say we'd be at it by the time for the next podcast. I think we might be at it.
I think by the end of this upcoming weekend, we're going to hit it.
Okay.
I think with the video that's going to come out today or yesterday, technically.
Yeah.
It's coming out Thursday. And then Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
We'll
definitely. Let's see how many subscribers, just because while we're here. See how many subscribers that last Sophie video.
We have to think about
our
last
think
word
of that.
here.
Why? Yeah, the last Sophie vid brought us to 239.
So, come on, Soph. The needle mover. No, this is the last one. The first one we did. Sophie, the needle mover. Let's do.
Well, I think just put who you think won.
Who you think won between NXT and AEW. I think that's a good one.
Not in terms of viewership, not in terms of whatever, but in terms of like
what
a
you
show.
enjoyed more.
Exactly.
Yeah, who you think put on the best wrestling show on Tuesday night.
With that said, we're out of here. Subscribe, follow us and everything. It's on the screen. You get it. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
We'll catch you all week. Quizzes all week.
You know the gist.
Toodles. Goodbye. We'll see you next week. What's next week? 48? Is that what we're saying?
See you then.